him mentioning the flat earth, it's flat out mockery. Again, these are the so-called enlightened ones, and they love to mock. What's the point of having power, having all the riches, and not being able to flaunt it? And this is their way of flaunting their knowledge, all in plain sight.
They must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not.
And these idiots in the back, they laugh, they smile. They don't know they're deceived. Deceived from birth to death. That's what they are.
Have believed that the world was round. You don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
And this is exactly how I sum it up best. Earth looks flat, tests flat, and measures flat. But they want it to be a ball. Exactly how it goes. People do not like to be told they've been lied to their entire lives. You know, they have a lot of pride in their knowledge, a lot of egos involved. They don't want to admit they've been wrong their entire lives, deceived. The truth pill is a very hard pill to swallow.
They're laughing at us. I can see them laughing at us. I don't believe them.
I've made a lot of videos covering the flat earth. I've had some people come to my channel disputing the claims of a flat earth. Well, this is a challenge to all you out there that believe in the blue marble in space spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. I want evidence. I want you to make videos proving your case. Because your evidence of a blue marble spinning at 1,000 miles in space comes from these clowns, these Masons in the game, with Walt Disney and Wernher von Braun, a former Nazi and then NASA head. And here's your evidence for your belief in the blue marble and planets outside of Earth's atmosphere, supposedly. To give you the first image of the supposed planet we live on. And what do? They put sex written in the clouds. And people might say, well, you know, I've seen animal shapes and people's faces in the clouds, but you're not going to see letters, especially lined up in the clouds. I mean, if you have an S here, an E here, an X there, that'd be one thing. But what are the chances of sex being spelt out all together in a group? I mean, XES, ESX, but SEX all lined up? Give me a break. And with the supposed image of Pluto provided from NASA, and of course, I'm providing a link, the URL here, from space.com. This is an official supposed photo of Pluto. And what do you have? The planet Pluto and Pluto the dog from Disney. His face carved out in this image. All part of mockery by those that run this world, that to those that believe the lies. And for all the coincidence theorists out there that look at this and see how it just so happens to fit Pluto's face from Disney. You don't see the connection with Disney and NASA? How they're all working together? The sex symbolism here with Disney as well. Again, with Wernher von Braun and Disney. Two Masons in the game. These two have passed away, but they're carrying on the tradition with the mocking of the masses. And interesting enough, China supposedly landed on the moon back in 2013. It was barely covered by the mainstream media because it was so fake, it was so ridiculous. That's why if you talk to an average citizen that believes in the moon landing back in 1969, and you talk to them about this Chinese moon landing, they never heard about it. There's a good reason. Take a look at this footage. All you get is CGI effects. Nothing real about this. But people just lap it up. Now, what's filming this lunar lander from this aspect? What's filming it? Obviously, all CGI, all fake garbage passed off to the masses, and they just lap it up. They're all clapping, watching a CGI video, a horrible one at that, and the masses again lap it up. This is your evidence that they landed on the moon. This is your evidence that they can get past God's firmament. Now listen here. After supposedly successfully laying that probe on the moon, what do you hear? You're going to hear a lot of laughing. In a real life situation, you're going to hear people happy, but not laughing like it's a big joke. This is mockery. These people from China's space know this is all fake. And this is just like duping the light. They're laughing over this because they know it's nothing but a big joke. With this meteorologist claiming the Chicago skyline being viewed all the way in Michigan, across Lake Michigan, is nothing more than a mirage. And we understand one simple thing. The whole foundation of the ball of earth is a lie. So everything after is a lie as well. And they have to continue the lie with sellouts such as this person here, playing a newsman, but nothing more than a paid propagandist. Now again, I already covered this in detail. I'm going to go and cover in a little bit more detail with different views, different aspects. But first, I want to say I didn't play the whole video in my previous video. And in this one, we'll play the whole clip, and I'll go into a little bit more detail. Take a listen.
Until I found this photo, Randmere State Park. This is from Joshua Nowicki, and what you're seeing here is a mirage. You typically would not be able to see this from the Lake Michigan shore. We talked about this last night. Conditions are right on the lake, but we're actually seeing a mirage of the Chicago skyline. Very interesting. Here's what's happening. This is a good example of a superior mirage. So Joshua was on the Lake Michigan shore. He was looking towards the west, and Chicago's beyond the horizon. Should not be able to see it. However, with the right conditions, we have an inversion. We have cold air near the cold lake water and some relatively warmer air above it. This will bend the image of that skyline back towards the viewer. And so typically we would not be able to see this. This image would be viewable from much, much higher in the sky, up in space. But instead, we're able to see it on the Lake Michigan shore. Very fascinating, and that's the same reason we're actually seeing this ring on the radar tonight as well. Because of the inversion we call it atmospheric ducting, it's bending the radar rays back towards the ground. So even on the clear nights, we have some interesting weather.
Now before I proceed with the video, this is a very important point I want to replay that the meteorologist says.
The horizon should not be able to see it. However, with the right conditions, we have an inversion. We have cold air.
Okay, he just stated because of the horizon, the curvature basically, you shouldn't be able to see the Chicago skyline. Now, taking a look at this photo provided by Joshua Nowicki, you can clearly see that this is no mirage. And I'll get into that in a little bit. I'll explain a superior mirage and how it looks like. And this is no superior mirage. Now understand, the distance from Chicago to Grand Mirror State Park in Stevensville, Michigan, it's 90 miles away. And they say over water it's 60 miles. Now understand one thing. With the supposed curvature of the Earth and at 60 miles, that will lead you to 2,400 feet behind the supposed horizon or the curvature. So the Sears Tower, also known as Willis Tower, being at 1,700 feet to the tip, the whole tower basically should be behind the horizon or the supposed curvature of the Earth. And also he talks about the superior mirage. With superior mirages, the mirage is inverted. And I'm going to show some examples of that. With these photos, you can clearly see the inverted mirage. Again, more of the same. So again, when you look at this skyline, it's a complete insult for that meteorologist to call this a mirage. Nothing about this is a mirage, completely real. And also, to go along with the photo from Stevensville, Michigan, I found an additional photo from even further, a little bit further, at St. Joseph's. Found on this blog here. You can clearly see, again, the Chicago skyline all the way across Lake Michigan. And there was a dispute as far as the distance was concerned from Chicago to Michigan City, Indiana. And I want to clarify this. I might as well mention how it's been stated how the distance is driving miles. Now, from point A to point B across the lake, they say it's approximately 40 miles. So even if that's the case, with 40 miles, it's still over 1,000 feet. A little over 1,000 feet behind the supposed curvature. So in that case, you should only see the very tips of these few buildings over here. The lower ones shouldn't be in view at all.